Hey everybody, Sinister Lex here, and today we're talking about how freelancers must be scientists. Before we get into that, remember to rate, comment, subscribe, click that get notification bell if you want my notifications. So the other day, I popped onto Facebook, just kind of a casual browsing kind of thing. I haven't been on Facebook lately, so I thought I'd catch up. Scrolled down my wall just a little bit, and it wasn't 2 seconds before this post, and I don't even know where it came from. It came out of some group that I don't even think I'm a part of, but it popped up on my wall, and it was somebody posting the median annual wage statistics for a local location. And they weren't just posting these statistics about what the median wage was. They were complaining that people who rent, that landlords need to lower their prices for their rentals because they're too high for the local population to pay for. And you might be wondering, what does this have to do with freelance at all? It doesn't sound like it has anything to do with it, but it does. I'll get there in just a minute. So they complained about this, saying that landlords need to lower the cost of rent because they can't afford it, and most people can't afford it in that local area. Why are they raising prices so much? And I got to thinking about this, and it really bugged me because it's a mindset problem that is plaguing our society. And it's the same thing that can kind of plague freelancers sometimes. In fact, it plagues a lot of freelancers because people from local areas are becoming freelancers and they're bringing that mindset with them. So the problem here is that if you are somebody who has a problem with rent, if you see these rental prices and you say, that rental price is ridiculous, I can't afford that price, that does not mean that the landlord should lower his price to meet your standard. It means you have a problem. The landlord does not have a problem. As long as he's able to fill his house, he doesn't have a problem. It means you have a problem, and it means that you need to make more money. And so I replied to this comment. I was like, this is kind of silly, and here's why. It's not the landlord's problem. His rent wouldn't be ridiculous if you made more money. If you were making twice as much, if you had double the amount of income that was needed to pay that rent, then it wouldn't be a ridiculous price because you could afford it. So it's only a ridiculous price when you can't afford it. And this is just a mindset problem, and it goes back to problem ownership, whatever. But that got me thinking, why aren't people making more money locally? And so I made a comment about it. You're not limited to the local area. You're not limited to the jobs that you have right there. Clearly you're on the internet because you made this post. So if you're on the internet, you have access to the internet, and therefore you have access to the entire world's resources. You can literally go out and make money today, right now. But I posted this and something happened. Something strange happened. I got a response I hadn't expected. Basically, a bunch of people came back and said, no, Sinister Lex, you're an idiot. You're full of crap. All internet businesses are scams, and I should not be making money on the internet because that's impossible. So pretty much they said we're victims of society, and the only way to make any money is to continue our corporate slavery and stay at our piddly jobs where our evil employer overlords only pay us this little amount and we can never break free. And here's the problem with that. This is where all of this comes together. So within that mindset, you've got people who are not scientists, and that is the problem. They're not scientists. They're not testing to find out what works. Instead of testing what I said, instead of assuming that maybe Sinister Lex is right, maybe there's something more out there, they just closed down. They had closed minds. They shut their minds off and said, nope, that can't be possible. That can't be right. I mean, there's like people every day who are billionaire success stories on the internet, but that can't be right in my life. They just close off to it. Had they been open to testing, I even posted links to like Upwork and a bunch of different other places where they could make money right now for free, then they would probably find that their life could actually change really fast. And this is where freelancers need to become scientists. So as a freelancer, if you're on these freelance sites already, you need to be a scientist. And that means that you can't come at this from that victimized mindset. You can't come at this from a standpoint of, woe is me, no employers are hiring me, they should be doing this, that, and the other, they should see my experience and value, they should pay me higher rates. It doesn't work that way. You have to come at this from a different kind of mindset, a value-based mindset, and a scientist-based mindset. You have to be a scientist. What that means is that you have to test things to see what works. So this is every little thing. This is going to require effort from you. It's going to require output from you. You are not just going to get something for nothing. If you want to make it as a freelancer, you are going to have to test things. And that means whenever you sign up to Upwork and you don't get approved on your first try, you are going to have to test and try different things. You're going to have to change your headline. You're going to have to change your bio. You're going to have to try different approaches. You're going to have to write different paragraphs. You're going to have to word your employment history and education description differently. These things are going to happen, and you always have to do it from a value-based approach. It cannot be shady. It cannot be trying to cheat the system, because these systems are going to figure you out, and you're eventually going to get suspended or banned permanently, and you're not going to even make any money after that point. Once you get approved on a platform, you can't stop testing. There is no point at which you stop testing. Even today, I test different things constantly. Anybody who's seen my profile knows yesterday it was a different profile, a completely different profile than what it is today. Yesterday, I listed a completely different skill. I had a completely different bio. Everything in it was 100% different because I tried different things. I tried big changes first. What big change can I make that's going to give me immediate results? If I change my whole bio and I wasn't getting anything yesterday, I wasn't getting any invites or I wasn't getting any responses, and I changed the whole bio, and maybe I changed the title too, and then today I get 3 invites and I get 2 responses, that's a big difference. That's testing something, right? So I have a hypothesis, which is that if I make these changes, then maybe X will happen. Maybe I will get more responses, or maybe I will get more invites. And so I make those changes, boom, what happens? Did I get more? Did I get less? And then if I got more, let's do more of that stuff. Let's run with that bio for a while and let's test the next thing. What else can we test to increase this, to improve it? This is how split testing works. It's the basic foundations of the scientific method. You have to become a scientist if you are a freelancer who actually wants to make money. So it can't just be every day I'm going to write the same thing. Every day I'm just going to write one bio. That's going to be my bio forever. It can't be every day I'm going to send the same exact templated proposal that I've sent off a million times before that didn't get results. They call that insanity, doing that same thing and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. You're going to get the same results, so it's time to test things. Form a hypothesis. What do you think is going to happen if you make certain changes, and then test those things. Try it. Try something different. And maybe that means rearranging your portfolio. If you're on Upwork, you can rearrange your portfolio. I don't know if other websites let you do that. We'll probably check out some other websites soon and just see what's going on in there. That's something that's kind of been on my radar lately. So if you want to see other freelance websites, I've been checking out a few of them, and we'll bring up some of that soon. But just start making changes. Start with the big changes. What are the big changes that you can make right now? What are those big changes? Start by making those, see what results you get. Maybe you don't get any response. Maybe nothing new happens. So what? You know that change didn't work. Try something else. And maybe you change little things after that. Once you get the big things dialed in, your skill, your title, your bio, then change little things, your tags, or the arrangement of your portfolio pieces, or what you actually put in your portfolio. Just every little thing can be tested. Test different tests. Test different approaches. It's all testing. You have to become a scientist if you want to make it as a freelancer, because that's just how it is now. And we are moving into a world where freelance is going to be the norm, where you are not just going to be competing against the few people who know about freelancing. You're going to be competing against a whole entire world of freelancers. All the people who are traditional employees are going to become freelancers in the near future. That means if you think the competition is high now, it's going to be a lot higher soon. For traditional employees, you're not just competing against people locally anymore. You're going to be competing against the entire world. You're going to be competing against me, and I'm going to be competing against you. And I can tell you that I'm going to approach this from a standpoint of testing things. I'm going to test things and figure out what works, and then I'm going to keep using those things and getting better results. So if you want to get results, you're going to have to test, try new things, and just become a scientist of freelance. That's all I got for this one, but we got some cool things coming up really soon. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, follow me if you want to see more. I'm Sinister Lex, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.